see. And we're live! Yay! Hey everyone! Super excited to be coming to you on this lovely Sunday evening.
Hey,
and yes, say hi, Trisha.
What? What's good? Hey y'all! Hey. Okay, I'm done.
All right, and that's over. So I am Jordan Gill, head honcho over at the Claudia Group, where we help you maximize the efficiency of your technology and your team. And Jerisha, introduce yourself because I want to be sharing with my people.
Hey y'all, Jerisha Hawk. I'm an income strategist, recent corporate dropout, and I help individuals build service-based businesses online. So really helping folks build a 5- and 6-figure service-based business, giving all the goods to all the people.
Yes, amen. You're about
Amen.
Right. I mean, it is Sunday. We have to say amen.
Yeah,
okay. Right. So we're coming to you because I went to Barnes & Noble today, which is one of my favorite places to go. And I was reading a book. Hey, Jennifer. I was reading a book called The 5 Thieves of Happiness. I don't remember who the author is, so sorry. I'm not sorry. And one of the thieves was control, which raise your hand if control is your issue. I know I can't see it, but I just need y'all to see that my hand, I got both. Control is, Teresa's way more. I'm like,
if you guys can throw up the hand emoji in the comments if you're catching this live or in the replay.
Oh yeah, there is a little whatever hand raise emoji. Put the hand raise emoji in the comments if control is something that you really struggle with. I feel like that's like a pretty common entrepreneurial trait. I feel like we're all just a bunch of control freaks. And so, in the chapter where I was reading that control, what was the first thief of happiness, the sentence like jumped out at me and I wrote it down and starred it. And it's like literally on a piece of paper and I'm going to put it on Post-its everywhere. And I'm going to read it slow and I'm probably going to say it multiple times because it's so good. So with control being the thief of happiness, we can control our actions and our responses to external things, but we cannot control the results of our actions. Now,
run that back one more time.
Right.
I did this to her like 3 times before we went live. This is so good. Like, say that one more time.
So we can control our actions and our responses to external things, but we cannot control the results of our actions.
Woo! Woo!
So share your downloads from this, and we're just gonna riff y'all because we just need to soak it in.
Say what you silence for that, because I think that's just such a powerful statement that a lot of us forget. And a lot of you guys have been recently requesting access to my free Facebook group, and I actually read everybody's responses to literally all of them. And the number one thing that I keep seeing popping up is like, I need better marketing. I need more clients. I need more sales. I need all of these things. And I was sharing this with Jordan after she read this and told me this quote, and share what you said, Jordan. Those are all results.
Those are all results, which if you listen, hey, Brandy. And if you listen, marketing, traffic, sales, all those things are results. You want to do these things to get the result. And so everyone that Drees was talking about, and myself included, I get wrapped up in it. It's totally fine.
Mm-hmm. We all do.
Right. We look to control the results. I want to control traffic and sales and clients and all of these things. And you can't control it. Period.
You can. And I think the biggest thing there, and let me know if anybody else is resonating with this. I'm seeing the hearts and the thumbs up going across, but recognizing what is something you can control and really what is the result of the action that you do, and getting the clients, getting more traffic, getting more email subscribers. Yes, you need to make sure that you're setting goals and creating a strategy to get a tangible result, but focusing more on the process. What are the things that you're doing to get the client? What are the things that you're doing to get the email subscriber? What are the things that you're doing to make those things happen?
Yeah.
And so many of us just we get too lasered in and focused on the result instead of being more intentionally focused on the process to get the result.
Exactly. And so and like an example of this is, say you have a traffic issue. And so you're like, I need to get in front of more people. Okay, awesome. That's the result. Can't control that. But what can you control to potentially have that be a result of your actions? Mm-hmm. So you can pin more on Pinterest. You can do Facebook Lives in other people's communities to be seen. You can do a lot of things. You can control all of those things. You can control, again, your actions and your responses to external things. So with that being said, really understanding what you can do proactively to attain the results that you want. So instead of, just being like, oh, I did, one Facebook Live and nobody signed up. How many times have I heard that story? But it's like, right, because you did it once. So consistency is a whole nother rant we could go on. Yeah. But it's really about exactly, Brandy, focus on the action, results will follow. I kid you not, it is so powerful to just detach yourself from the results, have goals, have numbers, but literally detach yourself from the result and just show up in your full awesomeness self and focus on the action. And then literally things will be happening because it's just part of it.
I think even how you guys can probably see some of these boards on my wall, but I've been, updating courses, creating new courses, and I was so focused on I need to have the course done. And I've even been shifting how I track and measure my goals and how I track and measure what I celebrate in my business. And I've been shifting to focus on celebrating the process. Mm-hmm. So you always need to have a strategy in regards to what is the end goal and how are you measuring success of that end goal. But then you track your success based off the process. So me, I'm updating Fuck Fixed Income and creating Fearless with Facebook and creating these courses. But I track my success on, did I make the outline? Did I revise the draft? Did I record the video? Did I edit the video? Did I schedule the video? Did I publish the video? More so than just that one specific end result. Because I can control all of those other little things to make the course. And so I just think far too often, wondering just also you guys here in business, where have you been focused on getting the result, but you really haven't been focused on understanding the process to get that result? And I think the marketing piece, the traffic piece, the client piece, those are the ones out of the 109 people's responses I read today, that was 96% of the number one thing they wish they could change in their business, or the urgent thing they wish they needed help with were those three things. And sometimes if you're only, not even sometimes, but when you're only focusing on the end result, meaning I need, more money or more clients, I lost my train of thought. But when you only focus on that, you're really losing. You're losing sight of everything else. So this goes back to the Facebook Live we talked about the other day. Are you building a business or are you building an income stream? Yep. And Jordan and I were just talking about this in church. Last week in church is all about, the origins and creating life and creating earth. You have to form before you fill. And filling is a result of the formation. So if you want clients, you have to, build the foundation of your business and build your body of work before the sales and the clients will come. I feel like I'm ready, but that's.
That is freaking it. Hey, Micah, and hey, Lindsay. Lindsay, we're going to see you in a couple. Wait, I think maybe Lindsay, are you going to be in Annapolis? But anyway, I think it really, and I'll give a really transparent story. Jerish and I were just talking about this because I finished up this 4,000 word blog post that was a launch diary of a launch that I did recently called the System Save Me Summit. And I'm going to be posting something that generally speaking, most people would not be posting about. But I think it's important because I like to be transparent. Mm-hmm. So my, let's see. So there were a lot of things to celebrate about my launch. I did get 1,200 new people. Lindsay's not coming. That makes me sad. But I got 1,200 new people onto my list. I was able to make, I think it was around 8,000. I don't know the specific numbers. I'm not looking at it. $8,700. And my expenses were a little over 10K. Now, anybody who understands math can understand that that means that I took a loss on my launch. I took whatever, it was like around $1,300, $1,400 loss on my launch. And it was difficult because I had these goals of money attached to it. I was like super, again, we just were talking about the trap of focusing on the results and not detaching from it and just focusing on the doing. Mm-hmm. And I was so focused on, okay, my budget is 10K because I know that I will at least make 10K back in my mind. And so there were a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have spent money on. And, you know, I kind of talk about that a little bit in my blog post about how I spent a lot of money on team and outsourcing because I just don't like to do everything. So I could have saved on expenses there and, you know, just some other varieties, but I took a loss of $1,400 on my launch. And it was because of a lot of things. But one thing generally is that I was so focused on making back the money that I wasn't focusing on all of the things that I could have done to get me to the point of making that much money. And while I did do a lot, like I had, you know, a Facebook Live, 1 to 2 Facebook Lives a day on my launch, either on my page or on somebody else's community, you know, and all of that stuff. But it's so much more about just like showing up, being present, and how I can just like almost exhaust myself and think about how I can do more of the actions that will result in that arena. So maybe getting some more affiliates or people sharing organically or doing contests or doing other things to get my traffic out there and whatnot. But, you know, things happen. And, you know, while I'm glad I did the launch for the most part. I think that, you know, going into another launch later down the line or other stuff, it helped me learn the lesson of, okay, I focus way too much on the results. Like I really need to focus on just like what I can do to move this project forward. Yeah.
And I think even with like, one, just thanks for being super transparent to even share that, because not most, majority of people would never share that in their business. And I think it happens to all of us. But just nobody likes to talk about it because it's just not the sexiest headline or the sexiest side of business. But I think the thing that we forget to realize or understand is like, you're building your form.
Yep.
And the fill of that will come.
Yep.
And like 1,200 new people on your list, like you warmed them up like no other. Yeah. They're super soft and fluffy now. Like, you know, you're going to be able to fill. And I think that's another thing when it comes to marketing advice for really those struggling side hustlers, as we put in the title, that we want, there's a difference. I mean, a lot of the time we think if we do all of this stuff now, focus on the result now, we want it now. And I know we were talking about this too. There's a lot of like good stuff from church over the past 2 weeks that relate to this, but understanding that like you have to build the form before you can fill, and you have to lay the foundation before the things will come. And I think even though this launch wasn't a money generating, well, at least you could have been worse. You could have made like nothing.
Right.
And that would have been really bad.
Right.
But now you have 1,200 new people who are warmed up more than ever. Like we have to be patient through the process too.
Yeah.
And understand that marketing, just because you spend more money doesn't mean the marketing is just going to give you a better result. Yeah. And that's just, I don't know how often that comes up with maybe in your clients in your world, but like all the time. People are like, well, I need to spend more money on Facebook ads, or I need to spend more money on, again, if I spend the ad money, it'll give me the result, but they have no strategy behind why are you doing what you're doing and what result are you even looking to get? Like,
right.
Again, jumping to, I want to control the end result or control the outcome, but there's no strategy behind, there's nothing behind it.
Right. Like you're just doing willy-nilly. I'm going to do some random Facebook lives here and there. Oh, I'm going to throw in like this random bonus that you don't even know if people want. Like literally just
giving all the things.
Firing. Yeah. And honestly, people, if I bet the majority of people who are watching, your target market has some form of busy as their description, whether moms, entrepreneurs, business people, football coach, whatever, like they're busy. Everybody's busy. Mm-hmm. So for you to give them more things doesn't make any sense. Like, how is this adding this one thing going to subtract something for somebody else? That's how you have to think. That's really how. And so if you're just adding something, hey, Brian. And so
Lindsay said so much truth. Hashtag.
Yes, thank you, Lindsay. And yes, Lindsay, by the way, everybody who is creating a course,
go follow her.
Because she's going to be doing some powerful stuff, y'all. Lindsay is amazing sauce. I think it's awesome sauce, technically.
It's awesome sauce, but she's also amazing sauce, too. I think she can have both types of sauce tonight.
Both sauces. And so she is the lady to follow for that. And so, you know, her and I have had multiple conversations just about how the courses or the products or services even that you create should be simplifying someone's life in one way or another. You're either saving time or money or energy or whatever else. Mm-hmm. Like too many people are, sorry, I'm going on a rant, but too many people are just stuffing to add value. Now,
remember, can we talk about what value is for a moment here?
Yes, let's do that. Go ahead.
I mean to cut off because
please do.
Everybody's like, you got to add value, create content that adds value.
Right.
Adding value to somebody's world where you take up an extra 10 hours of their time and they're already don't have the 10 hours to give. You're like subtracting value.
Yeah.
Like there should be a return on the investment is really how I like to look at giving value. And if the return on that investment is they making money, or the return on that investment is they're saving time, like working with Jordan, a lot of people don't, she does systems. And so many of us right now are operating in our business trying to get all of these free things, free tools, free software, but it's actually costing us more time. Yeah. That when you work with Jordan, after 3 hours of working with her, you not only save money on your expenses, which one, great return on your investment, but you'll save upwards of 10 hours a week in your business. That's value. She's not adding more. She's not making me do more because there's a strategy behind what she's teaching. And there's there's a strategic process in which she's following to not only help you save money, but help you save time. So I just had to say, what is value? Because people just think if I give more, that means it's more value. It's like, no.
Yeah, exactly. And talking about just spending more money on things, Drisha and I had a conversation earlier about someone else that we know who spent, upwards of 3 times more time and 4 times more money on a similar type launch and did not do as well as mine, did not get 1,200 people even. And
let's pause. Y'all hear that? 3 times the amount of money, 3 times the amount of time, less than 3 times, less than a third of the result.
Yeah. So throwing money at things, being super lavish and extravagant, but not having a clear path for people to take, not having your systems and processes in place and just being willy-nilly, let's throw everything in the kitchen sink at people is not the way to go. 110%. And I'm glad, that it was a quick launch in the sense of it took 90 days of my time from start to finish. And I don't like to make things longer than they need to be, but it really is being super intentional about how you're spending your time, because time you can't get back. Money you can always make, which I know we're in business to make money. So, you know, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't just throw more money into it. That's not the answer, but also don't throw more time into it. And where you're throwing more time into it is all the free stuff. Like having a total free, like people, it's so funny. People in Facebook groups, I see it all the time, of just being like, I run my whole business on free software. And as if that's something to be proud of, first off. But second off, I bet you money that they are spending exponentially more time on all the activities in their business than they need to be. Now, I'm not saying you need to be having $500,000, you know, expenses for your software or nonsense like that. But if you want to put, you know, a gold star or a crown on yourself for not spending a ton of money on expenses, you're looking at it really all wrong, because you really should be looking at how much, like, I don't want just a free tool. I want a tool that will take time away from me and not, again, add time.
Bars. Did y'all hear that?
Like, again, is this tool adding value, or is it adding more manual tasks to your to-do list? Like, the end.
So as we were talking about all of this, so y'all know I can get a little bit
get it?
ratchet. But the only thing that came up for me is when you're hearing people just doing all of the things and pouring more money into it and like doing all, the only thing that came up to my mind was turbo thoughting. Yeah. Being a turbo thought. Right. And just roll with me on this, y'all.
Right.
Think about this like dating. When you are out here trying to find the man of your dreams, and y'all all have that friend. You might have been the friend before, but I'm gonna just talk about this as the friend, okay? Where you go out, you are displaying all of your assets, so when you walk in a room that maybe, you know, one or two might look, and you start going on turbo thought mode, because you're trying to do the most to get the most, and then you end up with, you know, the wrong one, because you were out here doing straight turbo thoughting when that should not have been the strategic approach to getting the man at the end result. And you end up getting the guy who wastes your time, who only want to Netflix and chill, who barely want to get you to Applebee's 2 for $20. And Jordan's gluten-free, dairy-free. She ain't get nothing from Applebee's. Like, bro, I can't do nothing with this. No. So the only thing don't be a turbo thought in your business. I think is the point that I'm trying to make. How about we be intentional on engaging in high quality experiences?
Yes.
Okay? High quality actions. Yes. High quality connection. And that's the system piece. Make sure that you're investing in high quality. Because if you keep turbo thoughting, you guys are going to keep getting low quality on the back end and craving. And that's all that kept coming for me that's why I was trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
All I'm seeing in my mind is like, think about the dude who only want to Netflix and chill. He's just trying to get in the draws. Those are not good results.
Right.
I mean, unless it's your prerogative. And if it is, then disregard everything I'm saying. But
where
I'm at in my life, that's not a prerogative. So I'm speaking of my own personal experience.
Yes.
But I just think that we get so focused on, like, you know, I don't know. I was talking about this with my girlfriends too, and last night I went to a dinner party and we were talking about, can women have it all? And we focus so much on the all of they want the perfect husband, they want the perfect marriage, they want the perfect business, they want the perfect kids, that they make these mini gods out of these end results. Instead of focusing on like what's the process to get there and how can we make sure that we have that clear plan on getting there, and that we're not just being busy for the sake of being busy and then end up with the wrong thing anyways in the end, but focus on being productive and strategic with the actions that we're doing. So that's just what came up for me when you're talking about that. I think too many of us are trying to do all the things. We're being turbo thoughts in our business, and we need to close our legs and we need to sit down and rethink our strategy and our approach.
Take several seats. That's what I want to say. Take several seats. And I get it. There's a lot, you know, we're we're not trying to be insensitive in the fact that there's a lot of different tools you can use.
I've been a turbo thought in my business. I will admit it. I was a turbo thought in the beginning, y'all.
Right. You want to do all the things with all the tools and all the people and all the things. You want all the courses. I was a course crazy person, which is coming in handy now because now I can give
It's coming such in handy.
Not condoning it for anybody else, but it really, I think intentionality is something that not a lot of people touch on because it is a very tricky discipline. And I say discipline because you have to work at it. You have to be consistent. Ooh, there was another good quote. I don't know if I wrote it down, but I might know it off the top of my head. I think I did actually. But it was about how, great performers aren't consistently great. They're great at being consistent.
Ooh! Jordan got all the bars tonight.
I'll say it again.
Please do.
Great performers aren't consistently great. They are great at being consistent. Because if you, girl, I know Katie's talking about, I've wasted so much money on courses, only a handful I'd actually recommend. Real talk. And it's really like intentionally being disciplined on showing up on Facebook Lives once a week. We're not saying you gotta be on there daily and whatever else, or doing a podcast every week, or connecting with 5 new people from a Facebook group, or whatever it is, just consistently. And, I have connection calls on my calendar consistently for numerous reasons, whether it be a great partnership, a collaboration, other sorts of things. But I'm consistently connecting with other people who either are serving my clients or we serve the same people in different ways, or they're just cool people in the industry, and I want to connect with them. So it's. I feel like most people struggle with consistency because it's hard. It's not fun. But it's the non-sexy thing in business that will get you to where you want to go. McDonald's. Not a fan of eating there. I don't even know the last time I have eaten there. Actually, I do, because it was a late night flight to DC that got in late. It was delayed. That was the only thing that was open. It was a terrible, anyway, but McDonald's. I don't like a lot of things about them. There's one thing that I can appreciate and understand from an efficiency and consistency standpoint. Every single McDonald's you go into, or just look at the outside of, is built the exact same way. Mm-hmm. Restrooms to the right. There's usually 3 cash registers to the left. The fries are in the same place. The shake machine's in the same place. Everything is in the same place. And the reason for that is the same reason that Steve Jobs wears a black turtleneck every day. You taking away the process of thinking and having to do things consistently, that you can use that brain energy for other things. Mm-hmm. So I don't really know what else you're doing at McDonald's, but you can just flow through it. It's basically a choreographed dance. Like everyone has their role, they're flipping and all of that stuff. Have you seen the movie Founder, by the way?
No.
It's super good. It's on Netflix. It's all about McDonald's and how consistency is what got them to where they are today. The same reason Starbucks is the same every single place that you go. The same reason that Apple has the exact same, you open any sort of Mac product, you know that it's going to be beautiful. You know that it's going to have all the little intricacy things that you unpeel and unwrap and all that stuff. Consistency mm-hmm. is a core part of every high company mm-hmm. out there. Coca-Cola tastes the same everywhere. They
make me smile every time too.
Right, exactly. And if y'all know Jerisha, she loves her Coca-Cola. So I don't even know where I got on this whole rant. I just feel like my brain is all over the place. But I think that when it comes to, and it lifts the brand experience because people want to trust that you're going to be the same no matter if they get a $27 product from you or they pay $10,000 to be in your mastermind. People want to know that they can trust you time and time and time and time again, which goes to your client experience and all the other stuff. But kind of going back to the control, let's like bring it on back, is that
consistency, man.
Right. It's consistently understanding the actions that we have control over and just consistently showing up. So if sales is your issue, then consistently getting out there and getting on sales calls so that you consistently get better at sales calls. I started a podcast because I wanted to get better at speaking. I used a lot of filler words like and like and okay, maybe. Like I just used so many filler words. And my podcast has helped me tremendously with that because I'm talking a lot more. I have a lot of practice under my belt to avoid saying the ums, the likes, the oohs, the ahs. What is it that you can consistently do to just stay on top of the actions, just with whatever result it is that you want? Do you have anything to say? I feel like I'm like rambling.
I think it's everybody's like lots of life and business lessons. I was just telling my husband that about Master P. He wasn't the best rapper, but he was consistent. Now he's a business mogul and a hip hop icon. People don't get that the time is a commodity that you can never get back. Trying to save a few dollars, but will literally waste years. Doing it doesn't work. So I think the biggest thing is, and let us know in the comments, you guys watching this live or in the replay, like, you guys understand that your problem isn't necessarily marketing or sales or whatever. It's more so the issue with the actions that you can control that produce that result. Like, do you guys understand that piece? Like that's really the nugget that we're trying to put on your plate tonight for you to eat for dinner.
Right. Yeah. This Sunday evening, family dinner with
family dinner time. But now I think the natural next question that I feel like somebody might have is, how do I know what actions I should be doing to get me that result? And
such a good question.
Yeah.
Would you like to answer it for the folks?
That's what strategy is. And that's why Jordan and I, because I think, our board of brilliance selves together, with who wouldn't want us both on their team. We're going to be in New York next week, and on October 5th, that's why we're doing the 6-layer strategy, because understand that base layer there, that like you can't control the result, but you control the actions that reap the result. Understanding what actions you should take is where that's why most people skip it, because it's hard to figure out what you should be doing.
Right.
And even when I was in corporate managing $400 million pipeline projects, billion-dollar companies struggle with this too. Because it's easier to just focus on what we want the result to be. And it is a lot more difficult to think about, well, what do we need to be? What's the path to get there? I think we're so used to technology. We can just tell Siri, hey, I want to go to California. And she creates the strategy for us. And that's the roadmap to get us from Detroit to California. As business owners, not only do we have to think about what result we want to get to, but as a CEO, it's our responsibility to think about how we're going to get there. Yep. And I know a lot of individuals struggle with that. And again, that's why a lot of people skip over it. But that's why Jordan and I are coming together to give you guys a 6-layer strategy live event in New York to actually teach you guys the how. You understand what your end result is, but we're going to help you reverse engineer that to understand what your path needs to be. Why are you doing the things that you're doing? And what do you need to be doing to get the end result that you're looking to achieve? And even though it's going to be live in New York, there's still there's going to be a live stream available, because I know everybody is not in New York, and we want to make sure this is accessible and available to everybody, especially with there's like 100 days left of the year.
Right.
I'm not trying to roll into 2018 not knowing how I'm going to get to my end destination. And that's why we really wanted to make this not only accessible, but timely, so we can be also strategic with our time now. How can we start not waiting until December, not waiting until January 3rd? Like, we're about to get ahead of everybody else out here in the game to make sure you guys are solid, to make sure that you understand the how and the why behind what it is that you're doing, to make sure that you can focus on controlling the actions that you can to get the results that you want to get.
Exactly. And, Jerisha's done a good job of sharing think, what was it, like 59 Facebook Lives at that point anyway, of like what's gotten you to this point.
Girl, it was like 100. I will not forget this. I'll give out the numbers. Yeah. Because everybody's like, well, I want the result. I want the result. It's like, it takes time. I had done 179 emails. Yep. It was like, it was 179 emails. It was somewhere around 60 Facebook Lives. Mm-hmm. And to get me to the point that I'm at now, like I had to build, and I struggle with writing copy, like writing email sequences, struggle. Okay. I'm getting better. It took me 179 to feel comfortable. That means I did 179 uncomfortable.
Yep.
Not happy, nervous, scared, like, this sucks. Yep. I still get published and sent it, like you. So yeah, sorry, Drew. Go ahead.
Right. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's doing the uncomfortable actions and just being okay with the fact that that is the only thing we can control is our actions. So yeah, you might not be able to control the fact that you're uncomfortable and it's nerve-wracking and you don't have good spelling or you don't know the correct grammar of things. Just do it anyway and have somebody edit and look over your emails and just like quick whatever. That's what Biz Besties are for. And Katie was talking about how will you manage the online peeps versus the live crowd.
I'm thinking we can do like a Zoom so we can actually see our live guests so they can ask questions and stuff.
Yeah, so we will have how it's going to be set up on the back end is that you're going to have access to a Facebook group prior to the event. Party with everybody and get to know everyone. We want to know your names. We want to know your businesses and all that good stuff. And when the actual live portion is happening, there's going to be teaching going on. And usually it's probably just going to be one of us up there, like teaching and showing folks. And the other person will be looking at the comments. So we will be, the live crowd will have questions. There obviously will be questions from folks in the online side of things. And so whoever's not up there talking about, strategy stuff, then the other person is going to make sure that your questions are being asked. And so, yay!
I can't wait to meet her. We've been online friends for a little bit now. Sliding in each other's DMs, liking each other's posts.
Right. Gotta love when that happens.
Yes!
So there is a chance for you to interact with us. Then after the event, as really, it's a 3-hour event. Really, by the end of the event, we want you to have your 6-layer strategy done. We're not really about like extra work past this workshop. We really want you to have it finished. And then if you want to share it with us, and so that we can take a look and give you feedback or challenge some things or stuff like that, we absolutely will be doing that. And Durisha and I are super overgivers. So we're working on it.
We want to make sure everybody's good.
But yeah, right. Like we would never want for the experience that you have with us to be negative. We both are huge on client experience. We want you guys to get what you came for. And Katie, we wish we could send you guys some cake from the event. I don't think that's possible at the moment.
Well, I think nothing is impossible. So just let me think on that. We're not going to guarantee it though.
Well, right. We cannot guarantee.
But not guarantee. Katie bought a ticket. Woohoo!
Yay! I'm so excited.
Who else is coming, y'all? Who else is coming? Whether you're in the house, you're going to be in New York.
Right.
And can I just say, like, y'all, if you guys feel, think about how you operate now as a business owner. And this is something I do with my corporate dropout students, and I've talked a bit about with my Goal Getter Elite ladies, is what type of business owner do you want to be? Mm-hmm. And some people are really good at delivering the task. They're really good at doing the work. But in regards to, they're still transitioning at learning how to become the CEO and the COO of their business, meaning the one that, creates the strategy and is able to understand the operational aspect. So you have the strategy, you have the operation, and then you have the execution. And a lot of business owners are sometimes really, really good at the execution piece, but they struggle with the strategy and the operations. And I think one thing that anybody here who, whether you're a solopreneur or if you do have people on your team, is understanding the value in having a strong board of directors And you look at any billion-dollar business, they have not only an executive team leading the way, they have a CEO operating from a strategic standpoint. They also have a board of directors advising them and letting them know about where they should be going next. And I want you guys to kind of think about this event as you really being able to come in with your business, let us know where you're at and where you want to go. But look at Jordan and I as your board of directors. You know, I have much more of an extensive corporate background. Jordan has a much more expensive, entrepreneurial background. But now you be able to merge these two, brilliant minds together. It will, no matter what, it will enhance and elevate where you're at in your business. Yep. So even though you may not be able to hire and keep people like a board, a full board of directors staff on your team 24/7 in your business. And just like in corporate, like every quarter, there's strategic meetings. Every year, there's a big long-term strategic planning. Your business should operate in the same way. And that's how billion-dollar businesses work. That's how our billion-dollar businesses, all of us that we're looking to build, should work. This is really your opportunity to get that access. And, not only the collective, not only the brilliance that Jordan and I bring to the table from a strategy and a system and operational aspect, but think about also the brilliance that you get by having all the other people who are coming to the event as well. So this is your time to really have a full team in place and leverage the brilliance of everybody, not only in the room, but virtually online, plus us co-facilitating and co-hosting the event to make sure you have everything you need to put the pieces together.
Yeah.
I had to put that like 2 cents in there.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And it's only $97 for the live stream. So how many $97 things have you gotten that are just passive? Like you don't get any feedback, all of that sort of stuff. And we both have products that are in that realm, but this actually is going to be, we know you, we see you, we know your business. Right. We'll be all up in there. So we really are super excited to, again, like she said, be your board of advisors, help you think more strategically, work more operationally efficient, and up-level your business in a way that, honestly, it looks really simple. And I think that scares a lot of people. It can, Jerisha keeps wanting to add things and I keep slashing them away.
I'm buying you a samurai sword because Jordan will come through like, wash, like ninja fruit. That's how Jordan is, like ninja fruit.
I am totally ninja fruit, like totally ninja fruit, because it's hard, again, to be intentional and stay in this focused lane. It's a lot easier to just try a bunch of new things, because who doesn't love sample day when you go to the grocery store and you get to like just try a bunch of things?
But you can't put all that stuff in the cart.
Right. Yeah. And so it's but we want to help you in 2018, and everybody else is going to be waiting until November, December, January for all y'all procrastinators. Nah, we are here coming at you beginning of October to get it right.
And get it tight.
Right. Get it right. Get it tight. So we want you to be then spending some time, and keep it simple, stupid. And we want you to have time then to also set up, these things and just really hit the new year hard. You can even hit it hard before the new year, because, we don't need to just have like arbitrary dates because it's like the first. I'm one of those people. I like starting things on the first, and it's so frustrating because I'm like, whatever, it's 6 days, 7 days away. Why am I doing this? Why? Probably because it just, math can be hard. But we want to just help you set you guys up for success. That's like our number one goal with this event. And, we've been sharing our different 6-layer strategies with different folks, and people are just kind of like astounded at how easy and like how it flows. And I don't know about you, but I love working in the flow.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing is, I think so many of us, at least for the side hustlers out there who are in that transition or new in entrepreneurship, and maybe if you're not, maybe you still have this mindset, but like for me particularly, I always thought that I had to hustle hard. I have to work hard in order to get the result. It has to be hard. And one of the biggest things I've learned since being a full-time entrepreneur is that actually the less I work, the more I make. The less I work, the greater my impact. And it's because of a simplified and strategic process is not supposed to be hard. Like it's you're in your flow. It's clean. It's simple. You know exactly what you're doing, but not only what, but why, and then how to do it. And that's been, I keep wanting to overcomplicate my strategy because it seems too easy. And that's why I love Jordan, because she will come through like Ninja Fruit and like slash my stuff. Because like, stop making it more difficult. And I think it's just, that's a huge mental hurdle that I'm currently on the daily trying to overcome, regardless if it's in business or relationships or whatever, is that it doesn't have to be so hard. And really, if it is, like, I mean, yes, building a business takes work.
Yes.
But there's a difference between like, it shouldn't be, if you feel like it is just like hard, don't question whether or not you're capable. Question the strategy in which that you're following, because there's probably something wrong with your strategy.
Yeah.
And I think Nia said she's sad she can't come live because her job doesn't get her off early enough. But Nia, you more than welcome to get a virtual ticket, just so you don't have to worry about the travel in New York. You know, you can join us live. And join us virtually as well. So no worries there. And Katie said, I'm a doer. I want to create more and chase less. Ooh, yes. Katie, ours.
Yes.
Ooh, let me read the rest of it. I just need to get to the level where I can afford to have someone else do my marketing and social to get the clients. And I think, Katie, the beauty of what Jordan does is, even though you may not be at that point yet, there's systems that you can put in place to automate and kind of play that role of that person for you until you can hire a person.
Yep. And I mean, with that, I mean, especially social, like I did my social back in January. It is almost October. And the only things that I've done with social is update when I have a new podcast come out and whenever I feel like posting it. But I get so much. People always comment, they're like, oh my gosh, you are on Instagram all the time, or you're on Facebook all the time. How are you doing this? And I'm like, I'm not. That's exactly what's happening, is I'm not doing my social. I created 90 days of content back in January, and it literally just cycles. So right now it's on its third cycle. Guess what? Nobody's saying, I saw that back in February, because so much has happened in their life since February. Nobody cares. I'm saying this lovingly, and I say that a lot, but nobody cares about what you posted, even honestly a month ago. So much happens in someone else's lives. They aren't following you that closely enough to recognize when you're using repeat stuff or when you're saying things. And I also want to say that you can hear something once and you can hear and it's, was helpful or whatever. And then you move on with your life. And then you hear it a second time or a third time or a fourth time. And that second, third, or fourth time is the time that it really hits. And you're like, whoa, like that just transformed how I thought about X. And I say that in the sense of, I went to an event last year, heard this lady speak. It was a great talk. I enjoyed it. A couple months later, heard the exact same talk. I was on stage bawling. Okay. Like, I'm not even joking you, and I do not cry. So it really is about repetition. And it's not and if someone gets annoyed at you for that, then they can just leave. But it's really
a party. They can have fun with everybody else.
Exactly. So really think about, repeating yourself and when it comes to social anyway, because I'm talking about that, of just don't worry about having the same exact content. I know people who filter through their content in a month, like it's just the same thing. And then they add in stuff when they feel like it, which feels really good and makes you like social a lot better than you have to post every day, twice a day, 3 times a day. I don't know about you, but
yeah. And again, all of that is, how can you even set yourself up to be able to schedule content in advance? You have to have a strategy and you have to put a system in place in order to streamline it. So everything goes back to that. Everything goes back to making sure that, yes, you can. Because one of my goals, I'm saying this out loud, so to make it real, because I have not vocalized this in out yet, is I want to create all of my launch content for all of my launches before the end of the year for all of next year. Now I got like 6 launches, 6 core launches I have to do next year. I want to create all the content for all those launches before the end of this year. And saying that to me sounds super sexy. That means I have more time to be present in the moment in my life. But what's required in order for me to do that is having even knowing what I am launching next year to be able to plan for that, which is what we're going to create for you guys at on October 5th at the 6-layer strategy. But then in addition to having the strategy, that's where Jordan's brilliance come in and setting up the systems on like, how can I automate that and put that stuff out there in advance? So this event, we're going to be able to develop your strategy in regards from how do you get traffic all the way to how do you convert to get a paid client, and start talking through high level what these things are for you. So regardless if you can be there in person or if you're going to come virtually, you are going to be taken care of. Yeah. You are going to have, again, like really set yourself up for long-term success. And you honestly, like, again, this is exactly how we did it in $1 Billion Business. I'm out here trying to play $1 Billion Business. I don't know about y'all, but Jordan and I are just trying to give y'all the juice. All you got to do is just take a sip, and we got y'all.
Right. Okay.
So come to either New York or come join us virtually. Get your virtual slice of cake. Early bird tickets for the live event in tonight.
Yeah. So the ticket price will go up by $100. It's $197 right now. If you're watching this on September 25th, it's too late. You have to pay $297.
That's live. That's the live in-person portion.
That's the live. You're here in New York City. For the non-New York Cityers, $97. That is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all we got for y'all. Just some Sunday goodness. We got a little bit of dessert in there with the cake, the 6-layer cake.
Yes.
And that's pretty much it. So we've loved jamming with you guys this evening, and thanks for coming on the weekend and all that good stuff. And we hope to see you either live or virtually live for our event on October 5th.
So we'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.